Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Vita, sponsored by Undeniably Dairy. I'm your host, Krissy. In this show, basically, if you're new here, I talk to gamers and people in esports, and I just get to know them inside the game, outside the game, just what their life is like. Today, I'm very excited to be here with V1 Noia. Noia, welcome to the show.
Hello.
I'm very excited to get to know you. We're both on V1, but we haven't interacted a whole lot, so I'm really excited to get to know your story and just what makes you the gamer you are today. So if you want, you can talk to me a little bit about how you got into gaming and when you became a pro gamer.
Um, Nothing special really in how I got into gaming. Just like due to COVID, like school got shut down, and like to fill out the time, I got a PC and I started playing Valorant, and one thing led to another, and now I'm here.
So was Valorant your first game that you ever played? You just hopped on Valorant and then that was it, or did you have any gaming experience when you were younger at all?
I mean, I did play a bit on my laptop, and then I played like Siege and Fortnite.
Mhm.
But Valorant was the first game that I was able to play in a like actual computer.
Oh wow. Well, that's pretty interesting that you and I started gaming around the same time. And you turned into a pro gamer, and I am silver 3 in Valorant. So it's funny how things work out. But talk to me a little bit about when you became a pro and the story behind that. Your road to pro, basically.
I mean, suddenly I just found myself being a pretty high rank. Then one of my friends encouraged me to look for a team, and I filled for this one team, and then I got into another team because of it. And I don't know. Then I got a trial with a pro team, and they liked me.
So basically, one thing led to another.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. How did you find your way to the US playing for Version 1? Because if I'm not mistaken, you are from Denmark, correct?
Yes.
And so how did that happen? How did you get to be on Version 1?
Honestly, it's kind of like right timing, like right place type of stuff. I just did really well in a tournament in Europe, and then exit my former team. Like they saw that I did really well, and they asked me for a trial, and then I don't know. Suddenly I was in America, and I'm here.
Yeah, that's awesome. Quick shout out to our sponsor, Undeniably Dairy. If you're trying to succeed in life, in game, or on stream, you need to pick fuel that helps you succeed. Food can be really complicated sometimes, but there's ways to simplify it. Cream cheese on your bagel? That's fuel. The milk in your cereal? That's fuel too. Expensive cheeses? Also fuel. And those are all super delicious. Now let's get back into the show. So we're going to move into a topic called spilled milk, where we kind of get into the tea, if you will. I did see on Twitter that you broke your wrist. So tell me a little bit about that. What happened to your wrist? What happened?
Um, it's kind of sad because nothing like really exciting happened. I was on my way to the gym, and I just stepped outside my door, and I legit just fell while walking.
But you just fell like on the sidewalk and you landed on your wrist.
Yeah, just two steps out
Wow.
my door. It's
No,
great.
that is a very gamer thing to do. We were joking to our listeners. We were joking when we weren't recording, and I was telling her she needs to come up with a story like besides stepping outside and breaking her wrist to tell people because that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So what's it been like? I know like you're probably on your computer being a pro gamer all the time. Is it your mouse wrist or your keyboard wrist?
Oh, it's my mouse hand, so I can't
Oh,
actually play
can't do
that much.
anything.
I'm
Wow.
allowed to play, but because it hurts, I just chill out and I don't. So it's very boring. I don't know what to do, like ever. It's all I do usually. So I've had to
Yeah.
get hobbies.
Yeah, so what have you like you said you can't play Valorant, you can't do anything because it hurts your wrist. So is there anything you're doing to like stay sharp since you can't play or just like watching your team or like what has the experience been like going from playing Valorant all day every day to having to just like sit out? How's
I
that been?
mean, it's like hard mentally just watching your team have fun and play scrims and learning, and you can't like do it with them. But
Mhm.
I mean, I'm still there every day in practice. I just don't play, but I try to keep up with what we learn so I can come back and play well.
Yeah, because even if you can't, fundamentally be working on your mechanics, you can still be, like learning about your team and watching the strats and everything. So is there anything that you've learned about your team, like getting a different perspective of them? Has anything happened since you've been watching from the sidelines?
I mean, it's yeah, it's very helpful. Like being able to watch like everyone's point of view, and then like learning what's like important communication, and like it's also like what's good positioning and just how to fill gaps.
Yeah, for sure. I've been told that you've been assistant coaching a little bit with Effie. So how has that been? Because I always see all the V1 Val content, and everyone. Effie's is a funny guy, and it seems like everyone likes to mess around with him. So what has it been like being his assistant coach?
It's actually really annoying because then I'll take a note and I'll be like, yo, this is like something went wrong here, and he'll be like, oh yeah, I've already noted it. So I can't I can't one up him at all.
Yeah.
He's really good, but it's been fun because yeah, he's just funny to have like a conversation with about the game.
Yeah, so talk to me a little bit more about Effie's, and for those of us, even me, I've just been getting into Valorant, the professional scene a little bit more lately. Let me know, like, how is he as a coach? Like, what are his strengths and everything? How does he help make you guys so successful as a team?
I think because he was a player before, I think he notices how small like how much the little things, like the small mistakes mean, and also like how to communicate it to a player so they understand it and so they don't like take it too hard. And yeah,
It seems like he has a very good relationship with the team too. Whenever I see the content, it feels like you guys genuinely like love working together day in and day out. So I feel like that really helps, like you said, when trying to communicate to the team. It seems like he does such a good job with that, and I think that's so important for a coach, especially when you have like Preston is so young, and then there's like everyone's different ages a little bit, so it's like he can connect with every single player, and I think that's super special. But yeah, talk. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the Version 1 women's Valorant team and how you guys are the reigning champions and game changers. So congrats on that. Can you talk a little bit though about your aspirations as a team outside of the women's events? So talk to me about the co-ed events. What do you guys want to do as a team?
I mean, obviously we want to be able to compete on a high level in co too, and I do think we have like the right players and like obviously the right coach to do so. It just takes time. But obviously we want to win like even the small core tournaments, we would like to win them. Um, then I think we want to try and get into like challenges next year, or like at least get close to.
Hmm. Yeah, I saw you guys. I always keep up with the other V1 teams. Obviously, I mostly pay attention to Rocket League, but I have seen you guys play co-ed tournaments. And do you think like playing those co-ed tournaments is such a big part of your team and your development as opposed to just staying in those women's events?
I mean, the better teams you play, the better the faster you improve. So I think us playing really good teams helps us to like have at like what do you call it? Like be a step ahead of all the other
Yeah.
GC teams because we play so many good tournaments. Um, and I think other GC teams should do the same. Like even if you're a
Mhm.
free agent team, it's good to learn.
Yeah, I think I saw a tweet about that on Twitter actually the other day. It was kind of somebody was asking like what is stopping other women's teams from participating in co-ed events, and I think I saw Mel talking about how she thinks it's so important because like even if you are losing in those co-ed events, like you're still playing some of the best teams that you've ever played, because the competition is just so much more diverse, and I think that's really important as well. Before we move on, a quick word from our sponsors. Shopping local is really important to me, and I know a lot of people feel the same way. When you go to the grocery store and you see milk, cheese, and yogurt on the shelves, almost all of it comes from local farms. 95% of all US dairy farms are family owned and operated, and that's pretty cool. Let's get back into the show. So, with all this downtime because of your injury, have you got into streaming at all, or have you streamed in the past? I'm not really familiar with your streaming history.
I used to stream when I was in Europe, but then I moved to America, and there's a bunch of like shit I had to do, like visa and stuff, took a lot of my time, and then also I had to practice on like weird hours until I moved here,
Hmm.
and I haven't really streamed that much since then. I got like 3 streams since then, but I'm kind of scared of streaming. I don't know why. I just suddenly got like anxious about it. I think it's
Yeah,
because more people know who I am now.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that, like the anxiety surrounding streaming. Because for those of you that don't know, I'm a full time streamer, And whenever I take breaks, I feel like if I have to take a break of like 4 or more days, I get this really weird anxiety, like, and like I'm scared to like hit live again because I feel like I don't know, like we're gamers, and at the end of the day, we love gaming, and sometimes gaming by yourself instead of like sharing that with hundreds of people, probably in your case, is like it's just like kind of intimidating. But yeah, if you do decide to come back to streaming, I would definitely be a Noia sub. Like I would be there because I'm trying to learn Valorant. And I see you playing Killjoy. I'm a Killjoy girl
Oh,
too.
nice.
Sometimes, yeah. I like to play Killjoy or I'll play Smokes because I don't know. I feel like I'm not a duelist, but I always see tweets of people like, if you want to get better at Valorant, just like just lock duelist and
No,
like
because when I was low, like when I was low silver, like low gold, I was also terrified of locking duelists. I don't know why. I couldn't get myself to do it. I would rather fail and just yeah,
I
play
know
my
that's the
game.
mentality I have. I think it's because like, as a duelist, your team expects you to like frag, and then if you're not, then it's like they're just gonna be they can be toxic to you, and I'm like, bro, like, so I'm just a smokes player. But
Smokes is a good role in ranked, I think, though. Like you get to be kind of self-sufficient in a way,
mhm.
but it's
Yeah,
also annoying
yeah,
when
for
two
sure.
people aren't talking to you.
I sometimes feel like I will do it better than they can. Like it's kind of a control freak thing. So that's why I play smokes, because I feel like sometimes my teammates in ranked, obviously I'm only silver, but I feel like I feel like they can't, like, I don't know, people don't learn smokes, you know?
Even in Radiant, people don't know how to play smokes. It's great.
Yeah, love that for us. Well, somebody's got to do it, so. You need food. You need food that gives you energy. A great go-to option is smoothies. Grab some fruit, some milk, yogurt, throw it all in a blender, and then throw it in the fridge. Now, when I get hungry during a stream, I can just grab the smoothie and instant energy. Let's talk a little bit about, I know you said that you obviously haven't been playing Val because of your wrist and you've had to make some new hobbies. So, what are your recent hobbies?
I mean, I've been watching a ton of like series and like movies because
Mhm.
kind of have to. I've been reading a bit. Um, I've been sightseeing because I haven't actually seen anything since I moved to Minnesota.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
been
Minnesota in the summer is amazing. Like the
it's
weather is
very warm
perfect.
though. It's very
Yeah,
warm. It's not really that good for my wardrobe because I'm from Denmark, so I have a lot of like winter clothing, I would say.
true. Well, I guess it's good for half the year when Minnesota's freezing and there's like 6 feet of snow.
Yeah, I came here right in a snowstorm, so that was an experience.
Yeah, I'm from Georgia, which is like southeast United States, and the climate is so different. Like I've never even seen real snow, and then I moved here and it was like 6 feet of snow, and I was like, oh my God, like it was like a just flip flop.
Yeah, I moved here
So
from
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
so I moved here from Austin, so it was
Hmm.
also like from extreme like warmth to just really fucking cold.
Yeah, it's really hot there, right? Like I know some of my friends live there. It gets to like 100 degrees, and I'm like,
It's insane.
I cannot do that. What is the like? What are some shows you've been watching? I know you mentioned you've been watching some shows and movies.
I mean, I've been rewatching Suits because it's 10 seasons and it's always great to watch. And then also,
I've never seen that show.
oh, you should.
Confession.
It's good. It's good. It's really popular
I
too.
I recently watched Succession on Apple TV, and that was like the best show I've ever seen. I'm dying for a second season. So if you're looking for a new show, you should definitely watch that.
I've already been told to watch it yet.
You have?
Yeah,
It's so good. Like I will die for that show. It is so good. There's only one season though, so I'm like deprived.
that's
Um,
sad.
I know. I also hear you are a fabulous artist. So tell me a little bit about that.
I used to do art before I got into gaming, like a lot. Now I don't do it as much, and also because it is my mouse wrist, so I can't really do
Hmm.
it too much. But yeah, I wanted to do something with art before I got into gaming. So I guess I'm kind of okay at it.
What kind of art do you do? Like, is it painting or drawing or
Painting and
all?
drawing, and
Mm-hmm.
it's mostly realism.
Gotcha. That's very cool. Well, I hear there's a V1 Val painting video coming out soon, so I'm very excited to see that and how how you match up against the other members of the team in painting. Is there like a worst painter on your team?
Oh, see, I don't even know because the others just decided to have fun with it. They looked at my painting. They're like, "Okay, this. So I'm just gonna do something funny."
That's funny. So they basically gave up when they saw yours.
Yeah,
That's what it sounds
Mel
like.
did something interesting.
Well, I'm very excited to see that video. And yeah, I think that's all that I have for you today, Noia. Thank you so much for joining. And I want to give another big shout out to Undeniably Dairy for sponsoring this podcast and this episode. And if you guys enjoyed this episode, please make sure to like, follow, and subscribe for more Vita. And we'll see you next time.